Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Shawn Jones Show, where we cover everything on Rebel Hill with the South Greene Rebel football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Shawn Jones. Rebel Hill's a little wet today.
Yeah, really wet. We was able to get a little practice in, but not outside. But was able to go up the road here to church. So they just got to practice in. It's all that matters. Got something in. But man, it's gonna be wet around here for a while.
It will.
Hosey's been on me all week. I kind of Monday come in, got nervous about the game, and I said if we're gonna make this decision to move it, need to do it today. So we done it. Then wake up this morning, and I'll be dang if the weather report looks worse tomorrow night than it does for Friday. Looks like it may get out here Friday. So made the decision to move it back, make Coach Hosey happy, and keep him from beating me up because that's what he said he was going to do. So here we are, going to play Friday night again here on Rebel Hill.
I think whether it's played on Thursday or Friday night, it's going to be wet either way. It could stop raining on Friday,
Tyler,
but I think the ground's still going to be wet.
Well, the ground's going to be wet.
The ground's going to be wet.
Yeah, but it's going to. I mean, it's going to be gone. I mean, I'm a weather guru.
Okay.
Right? Hosey don't believe me. He's on me all the time, but. It may be wet Friday night, but I believe the rain's going to be out of here. So that's what it looks like. So we hope so. Let's see.
Good. It was dry this past Friday night, though.
Yeah.
Picked up a good win in Union County. 42-6 was the final of that one. Drove the team up there, picked up a win, got to drive the team back and be happy. Clear your head on the way back. So talk about that good win against Union County.
Well, it started out kind of slow. We scored in 3 plays, and then they got the ball. We had a missed coverage on their first play or their first series. And then, we had a guy around the 50 tackled for a 3-yard loss. Kind of turned her back. We look up, and he's going down the sideline inside the 10. We didn't bring him to the ground, and they scored to make it 7-6. But after that, they really don't have a threat to score. So, it's a 3A school. They won the state championship a couple years ago, and baseball got some good athletes, but they just they're not real good at football. But we went up there and got the big win.
You had a great night on defense. Once again, that's been something that we've talked about a few times throughout this season. An interesting stat that Tate wrote about in the article, you've outscored your opponents 142-20 in your last 3 games. I think so far this year through 4 games, you're averaging only 10 points a game, and you held them to only 133 yards of total offense on Friday night. I talk about how Coach Case is one of the best at scouting a defense. I think he does a little too much homework. I like to always joke around with him, but it pays dividends on Friday night when you're able to stop a team and hold them to 6 points.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always good to do that. Kind of like UT the first year. We don't want to get real excited yet because the teams we played, not going to be the best we see all year. I mean, we got the heart of the schedule to come, but if we can continue to do that all year, we'll be fine. But yeah, the defense is playing well right now. You got our second shutout. I take it back. We had 1 shutout. Should have had a shutout the other night, but gave up 6 points. So that's really big on the defense. I mean, after that first drive, they didn't have anything, so that's really good. But we'll get challenged this week with West Greene.
And then you had 378 yards of total offense the other night also. I love to talk about the offense and defense each week because I really don't know which one plays better on Friday night because they each put up great stat lines. You had 378 total yards. The 3 main players we always talk about, again, have great stat lines this week. Nash Rader, 17 rushes, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tripp Neese, 5 rushes, 34 yards with a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and 2 sacks on defense. And then Jacob Susong, again, another efficient night passing, 9 of 11, 183 yards with 3 passing touchdowns. Another explosive night on offense. That's something we've seen week after week after week. Even in the Crockett game, when you were only held to 13 points, you still had a great offensive night. So you've been an offensive juggernaut throughout 4 games so far this year. And again, we saw it on Friday night against Union County.
Yeah, offense played really well. Like we talked about last week, getting Trey back week 4 last was big for Susong. It seems like he's seen his other receivers really well too. It's just that security blanket having Trey out there has been big for him. So hopefully continue to do it this week. Might be a little wet Friday night. We'll see how much we'll put in there, but I think we still will.
Brett Wilhoit, again, also 6 of 6 on extra points. We've talked about him, I think, the last 2 weeks now. When you put up great offensive numbers like that, you always give him the opportunity to kick those extra points and get more experience. And he's been perfect so far. 6 of 6 this week. He's had a great year so far, and we hope to see it continue throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we always talk about. For a few years there, we didn't have a kicker. A couple years ago, we were Chucky Doak was starting on our side of the 50, and we had to go get one out of the classroom. So having a kicker is a big deal. When you score, you're going to kick that extra point. Don't have to worry about going for 2. So it's been a blessing to have. So hopefully he can continue. He's got this year 1 more year, so we're blessed to have him around.
We always talk about Trip Neese, Jacob Susong, and Nash Rader, but you had a few other players score touchdowns this week, too, that we really don't get to talk about. You had Jeff Dotson that had a 45-yard receiving touchdown. And then Trey, as you talked about, getting him back on the field, he had a 32-yard receiving touchdown. And another interesting note, all three of Jacob Susong's touchdown passes went to three different receivers. Just mentioned that one went to Jeff Dotson and one went to Trey Gentry, and then that other one went to Trip Neese on the second score of the game. So he's finding different targets out there on the field. You're getting them in the end zone, too. How cool is it to see him throw three different touchdown passes to three different receivers?
That's what you like to see, him spreading around. Jeffries was the first one he's had in a while. And then, Charlie should have had another one. It was kind of crazy. We ran a play, and the ball went over Susong's head for about 20 yards. He picked it up. And luckily, the reason we didn't have linemen downfield because it was a run play. They did not know the ball was laying around back there.
Okay.
Susong scrambled, and I'm telling him to throw it. Throw it out of bounds, and Charlie's behind the defense, and he throws it for about 65 yards. And, we felt like we jogged Charlie because he got tackled on the one. He should have scored there, but it was a good play by him. He found different people that night. And if he would have got that score in the air, that'd been a different fourth guy. He had different receivers. So it's good to see him spread the ball around like that, and hopefully we'll continue for the rest of the year.
One more name I had to mention, too, Colton Silvers. He had a great fumble recovery. That's something that we talk about. On the defensive side, it's great whenever you win that turnover battle because I don't know the exact percentage, but a lot of times in a football game, when you win that turnover battle, you win the game at the end of the night. And Colton Silvers had one of those turnovers with that fumble recovery. He's a name that I don't think we've talked about yet on this show.
Jr., he plays real well. He subs in on both sides of the ball. Real good kid. So that was good to see him to get that.
Great win on Friday night, 42-6 over Union County. Good news for you, you don't have to drive the bus this week.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You can stay here at home.
Might have that boat, though, to get out to the field.
That is true.
We might have to do that, so we'll see what happens.
Do you have a boat?
No.
Don't have a boat?
I'll find one.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can call someone to find one.
I'll find one, yeah. All the boys have got them. They've talked about having it. So, we can get to the game this Friday night if we have to.
I'd say so. You're right next to the river. I'm sure somebody around here's got a boat.
We got a boat, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you got a very important game against West Greene this upcoming Friday night, the Milk Can game. I think the people around here in this community, it's one of their favorite games all year. I know as a coaching staff and a team, it's one of your favorite games all year, too. You hate this week.
Well, yeah, it's just, all the hoopla goes on with it, just like homecoming. As coaches,
I understand that.
We hate homecoming. We hate, these kind of games just because it takes away from the prep and all that stuff. But, yes, the community loves it. The kids love it, and it's all about the bragging rights. So we'll play it, so it's a good thing.
The writers love about it.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah, you got stories to write about Milk
Absolutely.
and all that good stuff, and the story that got it going. But yeah, as a coaching staff, we don't like these kind of games. Again, it's just distraction. Again, don't take it the wrong way, but it's just all the distraction that goes on throughout the week that takes away from the game.
Hey, it's good gate money though.
Oh yeah, if I keep screwing up the scheduling and move it from Thursday to Friday to Monday, and maybe we could get that figured out in the gate game. So
might need to call a few more boats out there just to get everybody transportation to the game on Friday night.
I hope so. I think we'll be all right. I think the rain will be out here early Friday afternoon. Of course, Coach Hosey doesn't agree with me, so it's kind of one of the things we'll see.
We'll talk about it next week, but before we do talk about that West Greene game a little bit more, we need to get a word from our sponsors first, so we'll be right back in just a minute to talk about the Milk Coming game this upcoming Friday night here on Grassroots Media.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference. At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Shawn Jones Show, where we cover everything on Rebel Hill with the South Greene Rebel football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Shawn Jones. So you've got the West Greene game this week. It's a milk can game. I know there's a lot of distraction surrounding the game, but once the ball gets kicked off on Friday nights, I know for you all, it's one of your favorite games throughout the season. It's more intense. It's a rivalry game. You want those bragging rights. It's more important now, as we've talked about the last 2 years now. It's a Region 1 2A game. It raises the stakes in that game. I know for you all, you win this game, you get locked into the playoffs. West Greene, they're looking to stay alive and still be in that playoff hunt. So it'll be a very important game for both teams. When you kick off on Friday night, what do you expect to happen on the field?
Well, it's just going to be a tough ball game. You know, it always is with West Greene. You know, it seems like they always bring their A game against us. You know, we was watching film this week, and I was telling the boys even, you know, with some of Coach Case's teams, when he had real good teams, you know, we'd watch film and they'd have a slip up here there, and you think, well, maybe we could play with them. But when they come to South Greene or we would go down there, it was just a different ball game. You know, we know they bring their A game against us. You know, it's, you know, we've always, heard that maybe that they don't care to go 1-9 as long as they beat South Greene, and so we know what they're going to bring. So it's just going to be a hard fought game. You know, it might be a little wet, so. And we tried to emphasize that more than just being a West Greene game, it's a conference game. That's what we got to get the boys to understand. The big picture, it's a conference game. You know, all the other stuff will go along with it, but being a conference game the last couple of years is the big thing, and we just got to come out ready to play and do our thing, and hopefully everything will fall into place.
We always talk about how important it is to go 1-0 within the conference. You did that earlier this year with that win over Cumberland Gap. West Greene wasn't able to say that they started 1-0 after they lost to Eagleton, so I think on their side they might be feeling a little bit of pressure there, because if they slip back and go 0-2, then that kind of puts them not necessarily out of the playoff hunt, because you can always come back from behind and win those games and throw you back in that playoff picture, but they'd be fighting for those spots that would force them to go on the road. For you all, if you win this game, you get locked into the playoffs, then you're fighting to have that home field advantage. So I think even though it's the second conference game this year, each team will be fighting for something this Friday night, and I think the stakes are going to be raised a little bit more in that sense. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, it's always, you got to go 1-0 every week when you have conference games. You love to go 1-0 every week, but especially conference games, just for the fact, like you say, you don't want to get behind. You want that home playoff. You know, last year we felt like we slipped up and Happy Valley beat us and got on the road to playoffs because we lost two. We lost to them and lost to Hampton. So being home is huge in that first round. So again, like we told the guys, in order to get to that point, you got to go 2-0, and that's what we're going to work on this Friday night. Got a good ball club coming here. West Greene's got a good ball club coming in here. You know, they've had some injuries. Probably get some guys back. You know, we prepare like their full strength. You know, that's one thing that we do. You know, we expect everybody that they got to be there, and if somebody's not, then you know that's just the way it is. But they should have some guys back. It'll be a hard-fought game this week.
I know it might be a little odd to watch some of their film because they've been a little beat up and banged up again this year. I know they had a lot of starters down last week when they played Unicoi against Chucky Doe. They had a brand new freshman starting at quarterback, and that's been his only start this year because he was knocked out in that Eagleton game. Of course, they've got Austin Franklin, who's been their main playmaker so far throughout the year, but what do you expect when their offense lines up on the field? I know throughout the season so far, they're 5 games deep, and they really haven't had a consistent lineup that they've put out there on the field, but I'm sure they've had a consistent set of plays and formations that they run. So what do you expect West Greene to run when they play you on Friday night?
You know, we feel like, you know, they may do different stuff with Franklin. You know, we got to know where he's at all times, and we've done that before against them. They've had kids out there. When Coach Case was down there, they had a few kids that can beat you by themselves. So we got to know where two's at. You know, if he's at the quarterback, or he's at slot, or if he's at running back, and so that's one big thing we worked on because he makes them go. He's a special kid. You know, Unicoi last week, the first touchdown was a punt return. So with him, so we got to make sure that we know where two's at, and they're just going to be West Greene, the stuff that they've done. You know, I think they went a little bit different, tried to do a little bit more spread stuff this year than they have with the wing tee. But you know, they may come back out with the wing tee this week. You know, that they've been used to. So we'll just be ready. You know, we prepare for everything that they can do and stuff that they want to do because they're going to come in here prepared, ready to beat us.
Every year that I sit down and talk to you about the Milk King game, I have to mention Coach Joe Case. I mean, he's been a staple in that game for, it feels like, I think 16, 17 years now since he started coaching at West Greene. If you look at the Milk Can games that he's been a part of, his winning percentage in those games is astonishing. I think for him, it's one of those games where I don't know if he's more locked in that week when it becomes Milk Can week, but I think you can always expect him to be locked in that week. So what do you expect him, what kind of defense do you expect him to go against on Friday night? What do you think West Greene's going to throw with the offense?
Yeah, we just got to be, like I say, we got to be prepared for all their formations we have. He watches a lot of films and does a lot of scouting with them and their tendencies. So he's going to know what they're going to do. And again, they may throw something out there that we're not used to. We talked about that this week, but hey, that's just part of football. That's what you want. You try to scheme different teams for different weeks and try to find a weakness if you can take advantage of it, and then. So we're working on being prepared for everything they can throw at us. Like I say again, they may throw different stuff at us, but we don't think that part's going to change. The people may change, and that's fine. We'll just have to adjust when that happens. But we pretty much feel like we know what they're going to do, and we're going to be prepared. That's one thing about it. But again, we know what's coming. Their A game's coming, like it has the last few years. We felt like even last year, maybe year before last, that we were the better team and had close games and different things like that. And I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago we got beat by them, and we felt like we had a better team. So we're just going to have to be prepared and know what they're doing. Alignment, assignment, we talk about it all the time. And if we do that on the defensive side of the ball and take care of what we're supposed to and don't get emotional and do stupid things out on the field, then we'll be fine. And then we'll have a good opportunity to win that football game.
Side question, is this the 53rd edition of the Milk Can game?
I think so. I think it is the 53rd edition. I believe you're right. 3 years ago was the 50th, so I think it's the 53rd game.
That's what I was thinking. So 53rd edition of the Milk Can game this Friday night now.
Yeah, we moved it moved it Thursday night, and we decided the rain's going to hopefully get out here Friday, so now we moved back to Friday, which makes sense. It's kind of crazy that this morning come to school, and I was going to talk to Coach Hosey about it, and I was going to call Coach Monroe, and he was calling me right when I was walking up the steps, and I told him, I said, it's kind of crazy. I was getting ready to call you, and so it was good. We both decided, once we saw, and I really believe Monday, Thursday was going to be the best, but today, we both decided, and that was a good thing. Both coaches agreed that Friday's the best, and the good thing about it, once you agree like that, you just get the referees, and so we're going to go with it Friday, unless something crazy happens. Then if that happens, we'll have to move it some other time. But we'll get this game in because it's a conference game.
Absolutely.
So this game will be played sometime, where it's Friday, Saturday, maybe Monday. I was telling the boys when I was a junior, and that's why this is kind of a rare event around here with all the rain. I think the last time a hurricane really affected Friday night, I was a junior in high school, which would be in 1989. We was playing at Chucky Doak. They moved it from Friday to Monday, and it was worse on Monday. And we won 6-0 on an interception. I think in the second quarter, they kind of threw one up because you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't run. You had no traction. And I can remember the radio guys talking about you couldn't see our uniforms, didn't know our numbers because we was all brown. And so that was when I was a junior. So it's been a long time since 1989 that we've really been affected like we have this week. So we'll get it done. We'll get it played. Like I say, Friday night, Saturday night, Monday. We got to get it in because it's a conference game. But hopefully it's here Friday night.
Whatever night it'll get played, and when it gets played, you've got 3 keys to the game that you need to carry out in order to pick up a win and raise that milk can again on Friday night. What are they? Well,
we got to win a turnover battle, especially a big game like this. You got to do that. A big one might surprise you. I hadn't talked about. We got to keep our emotions in check. We can't have none of them stupid penalties and let West Greene move the ball when we've got to stop or whatever. And then we got to play good, sound defense and know where number 2's at and stop everything else that they got, and we feel like we can win this ball game.
All right, Coach. For me personally, this is one of the games that I get most excited for every year. As a staff writer, too, I think it's better for us. Like you said, it's a better story, draws more attention, so it'll be a fun week. Of course, once again, it'll be the Friday Night Lights game of the week. Good that it's Friday Night Lights, not Thursday Night Lights.
Yeah, that's not Thursday night. It's Friday night back again.
But, Coach, as always, I appreciate
you
you
very
once again. Hope to see a Vol win and a Cowboy win, so we can be in a good mood and talk about that. Well, you did get a good win on Saturday, though.
Yeah, but the daggone Cowboys. And when they play tomorrow night on Thursday night, and Tennessee's off, so we got to go 2-0.
It is a weird week,
yeah. So we need to go 2-0 this week. So, but Dallas lost Monday, but I had to take the wife to Morgan Wallen on Sunday night, so I got to do that. So that might take up for the loss of the Cowboys.
Yeah,
so she's a big Morgan Wallen fan, and she knew I really didn't want to go, but I took her because that's what she wanted to do. So you got to do stuff for the wife, and but anyway, it's kind of trade out there for all the nights I'm gone and football and stuff. So she always enjoys that. So shout out to my wife for letting me take her to the Morgan Wallen concert Sunday night.
Hey, you got to see Peyton in full uniform again.
Yeah, that was awesome. That
First time in like 25 years.
I mean, I know Morgan Wallen. I've listened to him before, but I said the biggest part, fun for me, was when Darius Rucker come out, and she's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, that was the biggest part for me. Then I see today everybody's jawing because he's a big South Carolina fan, but I mean, it was all good. But yeah, it was pretty neat. How Peyton and those guys brought him out. So it was fun, but that kind of makes up for the Cowboys' loss.
Well, looking to go 2-0 this week since Tennessee's on the bye week.
That's right.
Get a win on that. Hey, you get to watch the Cowboys now. The game got moved Thursday night, so you weren't
going to watch
it.
Coach me today. He's like, now we get to watch the Cowboys again. I said, well, let's hope they don't make us upset us too much on Thursday night. So yeah, we'll get to watch them now.
But hopefully the next time we sit down, we can maybe have the milk can on screen with us.
That's well. If we win it, we'll bring it in here next week.
And appreciate you to Coach Hosey for letting us borrow the office. A little flooded out there on the field house today.
Yeah, and I was on my, again, like I told you, it's twice in the last 4 weeks. I was on my way out, forgot about it. I'd stopped by the school, so that's why we're in here. And I said, Tyler, just come on down. We'll do it down here. So but we got it done.
Glad to see sleeveless Shawn back, too.
Well, that was just happy. That's what I pulled out today. It's still a little humid out there.
It is.
It's still a little humid, even though we got the rain now. Hopefully next week I can dress more appropriately, as my buddies tell me, but we'll see. Might come in here one day without a shirt on. We'll see.
Hey, here soon you're going to have to throw a hoodie on.
Yeah, I have the hoodie on. You'll have the boggin on here.
Oh, yeah. That'll be probably playoff times once it hits about
playoff
November.
times. Yeah, we get cold, and maybe towards the end of the year, Halloween nights before we've had some. I mean, on Halloween before it snowed, so we'll see what happens. I don't think it will, but we've had snow on Halloween, so we'll see what happens that week.
I think that week you play on Friday this year, right?
No, Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yeah, because the TWA, after they started doing the schedule for you, it's 1,
right.
1, 3, 5A last year was on Thursday.
Yeah.
This year it's 2, 4, 6 on Thursday. So it's something about they got all these good games. They want to all make sure they got all the games covered with referees. Mainly West Tennessee, so they just threw all classifications to do that. I think we're okay in East Tennessee. Would have enough referees, but they wanted to make sure, so that's why they do that. So it is a Thursday night game
They
this year.
switch it up on me. They confuse me.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. We've rambled on a little bit longer than we usually have. Everybody might have tuned out by now.
No, they're still there.
Once again, you had a good amount of viewership last week.
Oh, did I?
I think you might have had the most views out of last week. So you got more than just 2 or 3 fans like you say you do.
No, I don't know if it's fans. I'm sure they'll sit back there and say, what kind of idiots, what's it going to say this week? But maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. If he needs an autograph, just let Tyler know. I got you.
We'll take submissions. But as always, once again, thank you for sitting down with me. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Shawn Jones Show. We look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.